raining in some parts of Ibadan already. You're welcome to the show. My name is Adenike Ademowago.
And I'm GBOLABO Famous School. Good morning, Nike.
Good morning, GBOLABO. Of course, we have the front page this morning, the front page of The Punch, The Guardian, The Daily Post, The Vanguard, and as much as we can touch, we kickstart from The Punch newspaper. And the first story here says governors mourn as 103 die in Kwara boat tragedy. And there's a rider to that one. It says rescuers recover over 50 passengers and children missing. All right, away from that one, classified documents, Trump aide arrested, face 37 counts. To the major story on the front page, 10th National Assembly, Tinubu's candidates floor APC rebels, Akpabio leads Senate. We have riders that says Abbas beat Wase, Jaji emerges House Speaker, Yari embraces Akpabio after defeat. National Assembly would be independent presidency and picked leaders NNPP LP. And some more stories from the front page. Over 25,000 trafficked Nigerian women, girls trapped in Mali, NAPTIP. Fans crash website as GWR confirms Hilda Bassi cooking record. And some more stories. Aiyedatiwa steps in as Akeredolu goes on medical leave. We take some more stories here. U.S. judge pauses Microsoft $69 billion activation buy. Amcon debt, Uba escapes arrest warrant, faces arraignment October 18. Parents tackle federal school, alleged assault on 14-year-old daughter. And some more stories. This one says fans, all right, I've taken that one before. We just moved to another corner on the Punch. And Abra father ties stepdaughter's hands, feet for 1 month. Abuja therapists arraigned in Lagos for 275 million naira scam. Businessman bags life imprisonment for defiling 3 underage daughters. Governors mourn as 103 die in Kwara boat tragedy. Director arraigned for threatening JAMB registrar's wife. And we take 2 more stories from the Punch and we move to another one. Obaseki swears in 15 new commissioners, pledges economic growth. Only courts can determine what is illegal, MBA replies Tinubu.
All right, over now to the GBOLABO this morning. There are also quite a number of headlines here right on the front page of the GBOLABO. And of course, some of the top stories here from the GBOLABO saying, I briefed him about Mali referendum. Jonathan speaks on meeting with Tinubu. Defense chief mandates troops to flush out criminals disturbing peace in Southeast. And still on the front page of the GBOLABO this morning, in Dume, Tinubu sneaked out, begged lawmakers to support his candidates in 10th Assembly. Over 100 wedding guests feared dead in Kwara boat mishap. Among stories here says Nigerian stocks hit 15-year high days after Emefiele's suspension. Disagreements may occur. Tinubu expresses readiness to work with 10th National Assembly. Abbas, we will respect rule of law in our collaboration with executive. Among stories here on the GBOLABO, Senate will give necessary legislative backing. Akpabio speaks on petrol subsidy remover. And of course, still here, we have this. Sanwo-Olu thanks National Assembly leadership reflects wishes of lawmakers. Buba Galadima Tinubu on right track. We hope it will make Nigeria better. Ex-Rep Baja declined calls to remove me as committee chair over APC crisis in Kano. And of course, we'll take 2 more. Destiny can be delayed, not denied, says female ex-speakership hopeful. All right, and the last one here says Defense Chief to Peter Mba, your security measures sync with our efforts. We will support you.
All right, we move to the Daily Post newspaper. Remember, we're live on Facebook, 32FM 949 Ibadan. Jigawa 9th Assembly, APC supporters protest over alleged plan to impose speaker. And some more stories from the Daily Post. Ondo Governor Akeredolu finally transmits power to deputy. I won't be rubber stamp speaker. This is coming from Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. Obi tenders additional 188 exhibits against Tinubu's election. Abbas emerges rep speaker. Wase Jaji suffer embarrassing defeats. Guinness World Record finally certifies Hilda Bassi. Akpabio elected Senate President. Tentenas Akpabio Yari nominated for Senate presidency. And monetary policies, how Emefiele ruined Nigeria's economy. experts. And we take one or two more stories. Nigeria Air CSO demand probe, arrest, and key agenda before 10th NAS ex-lawmaker Otta Agbo. We move to another paper now.
All right, quickly to the Vanguard this morning. There are also quite a number of top stories here right on the front page of the Vanguard. And here we have the big story, thanks NAS leadership, how Akpabio Abbas flawed opponents. And more stories here on the Vanguard front page. Atiku to tribunal, summon INEC boss as witness. Father, his 4 children, 95 others die in Kwara boat mishap. And all the latest news, Nigeria spends 2.618 trillion naira on NAS in 25 years. We beg to belong. People living with disabilities demand rights for inclusiveness. And of course, we also have this, our confidence in judiciary unshakable. That's what the NLC is saying. Don't use NSA's appointment for political compensation, CSOs tell Chinumbo. How Gbajabiamila saved Nigeria's telecoms from Patami's trained bill. All right, our plan for real wage human labor right orders. That's according to the federal government. What Tinubu must do to woo Nigerians, Kachiku is saying that, and of course Kachiku is one of the presidential candidates in the last conducted elections. Governors ignorant of minimum wage, NLC. Atiku to tribunal, summon INEC boss as witness. All right, we have that already. And the last one here is land dispute. We can afford bloodshed with Ondo Osun Ekiti government wants.
All right, we move to the Nation newspaper. Remaining National Assembly principal offices to be filled soon. Akpabio Abbas step in as Senate President Speaker. Financial markets rebound on Emefiele's suspension. Let's work for our people, Tinubu urges National Assembly leaders. Atiku PDP plan to call INEC Chair, Secretary as witnesses. Akpabio will partner Tinubu to provide for, protect Nigerians. JAM Director arraigned for allegedly threatening Oloide's wife to blackmail her husband. Agbakoba urges Tinubu to probe Bokachua, NDIC. Alleged false claim, court fixes October 18 for Ifeanyi Uba's arraignment, I beg your pardon. Jonathan briefs Tinubu on international assignment. Poverty shouldn't limit any child from attaining highest education level, says Tinubu. Don't be rubber stamp leaders, Nigeria tells Akpabio Abbas. Struggle for control of mineral-rich location, fueling insecurity in Niger, says Bago. And to the sports side of the nation, Mbappe told PSG last year he would not extend deal. UNICEF scoops 10 million naira at okay, that's some sort of promotion there. And EFCC praised over NNL Super 8 qualification. And finally, from the Nation, former commissioner emerges Niger speaker.
All right, before we take that break, Tinubu's men moving over to the Guardian newspaper this morning. And of course, the lead story here says Tinubu's men lead thanks National Assembly, vow not to rubber stamp. President Bola Tinubu and the ruling All Progressives Congress APC yesterday succeeded in getting their anointed candidates elected to lead the National Assembly, raising concerns about the independence of the second arm of government. All right, more stories here on The Guardian. Nigeria increases oil export storage capacity by 4 million barrels. Path to successful MVN operations in Nigeria. How presidency's last-minute intervention shaped NAS leadership election. And more stories on the front page of The Guardian. This is saying blood shortage bites harder with only 25% of transfusion demand met yearly. All right, still on the front page of The Guardian and looking at the world, Biden's official list gains of U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit. And of course, we take to you more. Africa order account for 75% as rig utilization soars. And Oberevoweri salutes Okonja Iweala at 69.
All right, we go on that break now. When we return, we'll be back with the analysis. To stay with us.
32 FM 94.9. ọmọ ikọ̀ ẹ̀yìn gan lásán.
ẹ wo mo ti lo oògùn ó ti sú mi.
àṣìlò oògùn ìyẹn ò dáa.
kí ni kí n wá ṣe nígbà tí mi ò lówó ilé ìwòsàn?
kí ni nígbà tí ètò ìlera INT'L and Axamansard wà nílẹ̀. òótọ́ ni pẹ̀lú ètò ìlera INT'L Axamansard o láǹfààní láti rí dókítà gba ìwòsàn àtọwọ́ ìwòsàn tó tó ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà ọgọ́rùn-ún náírà. testa 141*44# báyìí láti yan ètò tó tẹ́ ọ lọ́rùn.
INT'L, a reason to imagine.
Drink down or go for it. Life na highway. Me I just stay for my lane. Full speed ahead, oh, no limit in my way. God no make them my back. Nourishment to give me spark. So I go shine my shine and I will go for it. Go, go, no limits, go for it. Go, go, drink down or go for it.
Ìbàdàn máa jẹ̀gbín yó ọmọ àfikàràmù fọ́ orí mu. Samsung ti dé pẹ̀lú àwọn ìfilọ́lẹ̀ tó jẹ tí ń gbèsè. Gba Bluetooth speaker ohun àǹfẹ̀tì gbọ́ni gbọ́rọ̀ àti power bank alágbára lọ́nà $20 million per hour. Tó o bá ra ẹ̀yà ẹ̀rọ Samsung A series tá a yàn. Wàá tún gba aago ìbọ̀wọ́ Samsung Watch 5. Tó o bá ra ẹ̀yà S23 series àbí Samsung Watch 5 Pro. Tó o bá ra Flip 4 àbí Fold 4. Yára ṣàṣà lọ sí ibùsọ̀ Top Success Store kó tó tán lẹ̀. Má sọ pé àtà olólobó o. Ìfilọ́lẹ̀ yìí ń bẹ tọ́jà òfin wà ńlẹ̀. Àdéhùn àti àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ o.
ẹni tí ò bá mọ̀nà kì í dá pàdépàdé àjẹ́ pé gbogbo ẹni tó bá ń dàrọ̀kọ̀ àti lọ gbé kàwé tàbí ṣiṣẹ́ lókè òkun léyìíkéyìí orílẹ̀-èdè bíi Canada, UK, Cyprus, Australia tó fi mọ́ ọ̀pọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè ní Europe. Bauhop Consult ni ẹ bá dòwò pọ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe mójúlẹ́jà àti bániṣètò ìrìn àjò sókè òkun ni wọ́n tún jẹ́ aṣojú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ nílẹ̀ aláwọ̀ funfun fẹ́nikẹ́ni tó bá fẹ́ kàwé nílùú òyìnbó. Wọ́n ń bániṣètò iṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú ìrànwọ́ ètò ẹ̀yáwó fákẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìyẹn student loan tó fi mọ́ scholarship bí ọgọ́ làwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó bá ṣe IELTS lọ́dọ̀ wọn ṣàṣeyọrí àjẹ́ pé boko bá jìnnà ẹ̀ lákìíkò. Bauhop Consult wà ní nọ́mbà 55 Liberty Stadium Road àdójúkọ Lano House off Òkè Àdó Ìbàdàn. ẹ̀ka wọn sì wà ní 15/17 Solaron Plaza Akówọjọ Road Ẹ̀gbẹ́dá nípínlẹ̀ Èkó. fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ẹ pè 0815-677-6425 website www.bauhopconsult.com.ng. ó wà lórí ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ gbogbo Twitter, Facebook àti Instagram @Bauhop Consult. kọ́kọ́rọ́ tó ṣílẹ̀kùn àti tẹkọ̀ létí lọ sókè òkun.
Right. So guys, this is the plan. We go in at sunrise and we attack without mercy. Glow World Shops won't see us coming. Taye, you are to make sure we get all the best phones, all right?
Yes, boss.
Lara, you have to make sure that we don't miss the 18GB bonus deals for 6 months.
Understood, sir.
Chigozie, your job is to draw up the payment plan. Codename Pay Small Small. Chigozie, are you sleeping? Chigozie,
Relax. There's enough time for you to get your preferred smartphones and enjoy sweet deals at Glow World. Walk into any Glow World shop, your one-stop shop for devices and gadgets, and get 18GB bonus data when you buy your phone, which you can pay for at your convenience.
Glow Unlimited.
ọdún iléyá wọlé wẹ́rẹ́ bá wa láàyè ìdẹ̀ra alihamdulilayi. iléeṣẹ́ Zenith Real Estate and Properties Limited ló ní kẹ́ẹ̀rà lẹ̀kẹ́ ẹgbẹ̀rún ọdún promo ìdí kábìrì lélẹ́yìí OPP ó pọ̀ pa. ẹ̀dínwó ti wà lórí àwọn ilẹ̀ estate wa pátá o. Kings Park Estate Maniya Ìbàdàn 1.4 million naira. Achievers Estate ní Ìdó 700,000 naira. Sun City Estate Alabata Maniya Ìbàdàn 1.5 million naira. Rehoboth Park and Garden Estate Elekuru Maniya 800,000 naira. Treasure Land Estate ní òpópónà Funab Alabata Abẹ́òkúta 150,000 naira. Greenland Estate Phase 1 Alabata Abẹ́òkúta 300,000 naira. bó o bá ṣe ń sanwó láǹfọ̀ọ́ nílẹ̀ rẹ̀ tá ó sì ṣe corner piece fún ọ lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. ìwọ náà wá ra lẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa kó o gbẹ̀bùn bíi ẹran àgbò ìrẹsì òróró fan amómitutù àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. June 11 sí July 11 ní promo yìí wà fún o. Zenith Real Estate and Properties Limited wà ní dojúkọ IITA lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Àrẹ̀mú Block Industry Ọjọ́ Mọ́níyà Road Ìbàdàn. fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ 081-410-39905 tàbí kó WhatsApp wọn lórí 081-409-42376. Zenith Real Estate and Properties Limited Baka Disala.
Nǹkan tí mo bá ṣe ò ní fẹ́ mi láì ní òdiwọ̀n. Ó tó gbẹ́kẹ̀lé lójoojúmọ́. Kò sóhun tí mo bá ṣe ó fi fẹ́ hàn mí.
Ìfẹ́ tí kò lábàwọ́n ni ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákànlọ́. Nítorí náà, fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
Guy, See how many power bank only you dey carry. You dey sell am.
Oh boy, I get many important meetings today. I no fit miss them.
My brother, you dey give yourself wahala. How na? You suppose dey use the INT'L P40 to dey power yourself. Enjoy real power with all new INT'L P40. With just one charge, enjoy 3 days of fun with a 6000 mAh mega battery with fast charge and 7GB RAM. Also get 5GB data from Airtel for just 1000 naira when you buy INT'L P40 and activate with an Airtel 4G SIM card. SMS GET to 141 now. INT'L P40, one charge for 3 days.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Alright, you're welcome back. You're still on to Break It On Papers Review here on 32 FM 94.9. And of course, we're still going through the papers. And Denike, I guess you have some more papers here.
Right. The Premium Times, our first story here says INEC Chair Mahmood Yakubu to testify in Atiku's suit challenging Tinubu's victory. Ill health, Ondo Governor Akeredolu hands over power to Deputy. Akpabio asks opposition senators to support Tinubu administration. Benjamin Kalu emerges Deputy Speaker, House of Reps, ex-senator under fire after confessing to influencing wife's decision as appeal court judge. Tajuddin Abbas elected Speaker, House of Representatives. And some more stories says we shamed those who doubted our victory. Abbas. Education loan to Tinubu meets Nigerian student leaders as Okay, away from that, Tinubu rejoices with Akpabio. Abbas says he'll work with NAS for Nigeria's progress. More than 120 people killed since Tinubu's inauguration, Amnesty International. Peter Obi renders IREV reports in 5 states to challenge Tinubu's victory. Ogun governorship election petition. Tribunal sets date for ruling on vote buying allegation. Nigerian stocks hits 15-year high on suspension of CBN governor. And finally, from the Premium Times, campaigns are over, let's forge ahead. Speaker Abbas tells reps.
All right, now let's move over to this day newspaper this morning. Tinubu promises to Nigerians get backing. Group decries relocation of Abia electoral panel to government house. And of course, more story here. Let's look at the front page of the This Day newspaper. Of a Metropolitan Club vows to support Kwara government on quality healthcare delivery. Jibrin Barau emerges Deputy Senate President unopposed. And of course, more story says Senate set to elect Barau. All right, that's already taken by event. And of course, Akpabio elected Senate President. And Tinubu signs, that's about yesterday, the student loan. And Denike, I was actually looking at, before Austin actually comes in, I was actually looking at the pomp and pageantry at the National Assembly yesterday.
Right.
And how much more people actually expected so much more from the 10th National Assembly now. Even though they're saying they're not going to be rubber stamp, but we know that the anointed candidate here. And in the Nigerian way of looking at things, you know that when you have anointed candidate, you have instances of doing the bidding of the government in power.
I think that's the fear of most people. They are worried that, like they have said, we don't want a rubber stamp constitution, or I don't know how to put that now.
Yeah,
and also
National
people,
Assembly, right?
National Assembly, and people are worried that they're just going to do the bidding, like you said. Well, we're going to dive into the analysis as soon as Austin gets here. He will help us shed some more light
on it, right?
On that.
And I was actually looking at Hilda Bassi too, and of course that story made headlines.
Congratulations to her.
Right? And of course, I think there's a lesson here for many Nigerians, because we have instances of this fire brigade thing. Until Hilda actually came up with that, many Nigerians never thought that could happen to a Nigerian being in the Guinness Book of Records. And now you have Hilda doing that. Many people wanted to unbreak the record.
Right.
I do not understand.
A record that she had not gotten yet.
Exactly.
Right. I think the highlight for me was what the GWR did. They trimmed down her time because they said there were some miscalculations in her rest during her rest period. So they trimmed off 7 hours of her time, which landed on 93 hours 11 minutes, which was supposed to be at 100 hours. So a lot of people, Nigerians, are glad for her that it's good that she pushed herself to do 100, because if she had stopped at just breaking the previous record, it might have been really hard to exceed. She broke the record, and it's good enough that she, sustained the extra hours. Let's take a look at the Daily Trust here.
Okay.
The headlines here says, our youths charge Tinubu to end banditry in the north. And some more stories says, I'll be a partner in progress, Tinubu tells Akpabio Abbas. Will the 10th Assembly be another rubber stamp? This is an editorial from the Daily Trust. You might want to take a look at that. 10 escaped kidnapping with injuries in Kogi. Shetima's patriotic remarks under the current dispensation. And we'll just take a look at some more headlines. Will airlift all Nigerian Hajj pilgrims before deadline? Flynas. Appointment of IG prerogative of President PSC. Fintiri swears in SSG. AG, and some more stories. All right, we'll just take this one. This one says probe Nigeria Air project. I think this is something that is already ongoing. Northwest governors tackling regional challenges together, and hoodlums beat tier protocol officers' shirts during assembly inauguration in Niger. And we read some of the stories. Let's see.
I actually wanted to look at this Nigerian Tribune newspaper headlines, and of course, it's still talking about ex-President Trump. And Trump appears to be in the murky waters here.
Right.
And of course, the story is saying former President Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to 37 charges related to alleged mishandling. All right. Let's see if we could pull through with this. Okay. And it says that's Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to 37 charges related to alleged mishandling of classified documents. And of course, that's what the CNN is reporting. Trump's lawyers asked for a jury trial during the former president's arraignment on Tuesday at the federal courthouse in Miami, where most certainly enter a plea of not guilty. And one keep wondering how our ex-leaders, because this one appears to be an ex-leader.
Right.
And of course, going through penalties here. But in Nigeria, you just see instances of ex-leaders untouchable, and you have them actually accumulating a lot of pensions for themselves when they leave office. Like a state like Benue now, the father Alia is already saying that the state is indebted.
True.
And of course, you're still looking at the Benue state governor, the ex-one now, saying as a matter of fact, is entitled to luxury life after leaving office. Now, it's more or less like a breakdown of the institution itself, and I don't know when it will come to that day when Nigeria will hold our leaders, even when
accountable.
Spent like maybe 100 years afterwards. Your unborn children may have to suffer for some of these dates.
Some Americans, I beg your pardon, are not exactly worried because they feel that they think it's witch hunting.
Really?
And yes, and that's because I follow the trail of comments on social media about Trump's arrest and all of that, and they said he's still going to emerge as president. They don't want him to be president, and he's definitely going to emerge as president. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. There's corruption everywhere in the world.
Obviously.
And we have Rosin Etomo joining us this morning. I think the rain got the better part
of him,
but he conquered, and he's right here. Our analyst is in the studios right now. Good morning, Austin.
Yeah, Denike, good morning.
It's good to have you join us this morning. So we've been talking. You said what?
I said though very late.
Though very late, right. So we've been talking about the elected 10th Assembly members. We have a new Senate president, the former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Godswill Akpabio, and as well as Abbas, who emerged Speaker of the 10th NAS Assembly. So congratulations to them, of course. Congratulations are in order, but there are speculations about Akpabio not being a consensus choice and being specially handpicked by the president. Something about using the position to settle Akpabio. What are your thoughts on this?
Yes, they are the anointed candidate of the president and the party. You know, every political party wants to do this, even at state level. But most often time, it becomes a major issue at the national level. Akpabio may have been unpicked by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but he went through the election. Not all the candidates stepped down. Not all the aspirants stepped down for him. If you look at this particular Senate leadership election or National Assembly leadership election, it was a keenly contested election. One of the fiercest in the history of Nigerian's democracy. Because this individual campaigned as if it was a national election. As if they want to emerge from the election that produces them. They went from house to house. They also spoke with their people. Tinubu picked the candidate / his party. Tinubu also reached out to a lot of these lawmakers to be able to drive home his choice candidate, which is Akpabio and Abbas. So I don't want to believe that there was no consensus and he unilaterally unpicked him. Everyone did not step down. Look at Abbas, for example. Jaji and Wase, they made up their mind not to step down. And I will never blame them for that. Because the contest, they in the contest added value to the entire process. You understand? Right. It will have just been, a kind of unopposed stuff. But there was an election. People thought Yari would not be able to go far. But Yari put 46 votes. Akpabio only defeated him with 17 votes. So they are the choice of their party and the president, but they actually went through the process.
All right, I want us to also look at this Obi's additional 188 exhibit against Tinubu's election. And one will wonder at a point when you have social cultural organization like INT'L calling on Peter Obi to shelve an article, to shelve whatever petition they have in court and work alongside President Bola Tinubu. Now, would we say that Obi should yield to this particular appeal, not to actually go ahead with this, but he appears to have more evidence before the courts to prove his case? Do you think he should toe the path that INT'L is calling him to toe at this time?
I don't think so. The INT'L call is hypocritical, as far as I'm concerned. We also knew what played out in the election. Somebody going to call, see, we in Nigeria, especially in the aftermath of the 2023 general election, we are making it look as if when you go to court, you have committed a crime or you have committed a sin. Going to court, in my view, is an opportunity to test our law. You understand? And it is part of their fundamental human right.
They are looking at the legal fee that would have solved
the
number of
he has the
problems.
Money, he has the resources.
Okay.
He's not the president. There's no problem he can solve, except he set up a charity organization. Buhari was in court severally. A lot of candidates that have lost in election, this is not the first time article will be going to court. So calling people who are already in court to leave the court and join hand with the government, it's not true. I believe today if Supreme Court give judgment and say Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually won the election, Obi and Atiku will have no choice than to congratulate him. You understand? Let's exhaust the legal or the judicial process. Because what if you say they should leave the court and at the end of the day, who knows whether the case will favor them? So is the additional witnesses that is bringing, of course the court is admitting them. That adds to the beauty of the whole process. There must be a contest, and when there is an aggrieved party, the court is open. It's part of the law.
All right, I just want to quickly also add this. Nigeria spends 2.618 trillion naira on NAS in 25 years. And now, what do we expect the Akpabio-led National Assembly to do? As a matter of fact, with the overhead cost of the National Assembly starting from the Senate and, of course, going to the House of Reps, what do you think this 10th National Assembly ESCO can do? Because obviously, this money is humongous, is huge, especially looking at how indebted the country is.
Yes, I feel so strongly that we can maintain the fiscal discipline by reducing the cost of governance. Subsidy is gone. Nigerians are paying higher. There's hardship everywhere. You have told us to exercise patience. Things will get better, to make some sacrifices. Charity begins at home. So leadership is also by example. This individual must live by example. I hope that sincerely they will work on bringing down their own allowances and entitlement. Not just the National Assembly, every strata or political office holder in the country. Let them look for a way to reduce the cost of governance, because that is killing the economy of the country. You can't say we are broke, for example, and you continue to expand the cost of governance. If we are not even looking at a unicameral legislation, of course, let's reduce the cost of governance to the barest minimum. Because when people see that, the leadership structure too they are trying to bring down their own entitlement. Of course, everybody will be in the game. Oh, let's suffer for a while. Things might get better.
All right, we have to go on a break now. When we return, we'll touch on some more stories. Stay right here with us.
32 FM 94.9.
7 a.m. Rise up to the tantalizing aroma of Golden Penny Noodles goat meat pepper soup flavor. Golden Penny Noodles. I want what I want.
ọmọ ikọ̀ ẹ̀yìn gan lásán.
ẹ wo mo ti lo oògùn ó ti sú mi.
yé àṣìlò oògùn ìyẹn ò dáa.
kí ni kí n wá ṣe nígbà tí mi ò lówó ilé ìwòsàn.
kí ni nígbà tètò ìlera INT'L and Axamansard wà nílẹ̀. òótọ́ ni pẹ̀lú ètò ìlera INT'L Axamansard o láǹfààní láti rí dókítà gba ìwòsàn àtọwọ́ ìwòsàn tó tó ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà ọgọ́rùn-ún náírà. testa 141*44# báyìí láti yan ètò tó tẹ́ ọ lọ́rùn.
INT'L, a reason to imagine.
Naija people with the yarn better tori abeg.
For Italian league, Osimhen goals come be like 5 and 6. Bruh, na Ballon d'Or remain o.
I'm with Ifeanyi on this one. Her father picked some boy over his own daughter as CEO.
No one tells a story like we do. Stream live football, local and international shows on Showmax, Africa's original streaming service. Sign up at showmax.com. Ìbàdàn máa jẹ̀gbín yó ọmọ àfikàràmù fọ́ orí mu. Samsung ti dé pẹ̀lú àwọn ìfilọ́lẹ̀ tó jẹ tí ń gbèsè. Gba Bluetooth speaker ohun à ń fetí gbọ́ni gbọ́rọ̀ àti power bank alágbára lọ́nà ẹgbẹ̀rún 20 mílíọ̀nù per hour. Tó o bá ra ẹ̀yà ẹ̀rọ Samsung A series tààyàn. Wàá tún gba aago ìbọ̀wọ́ Samsung Watch 5. Tó o bá ra ẹ̀yà S23 series àbí Samsung Watch 5 Pro. Tó o bá ra Flip 4 àbí Fold 4. Ó yà ọ́ lẹ́nu àbí? Yára ṣàṣà lọ sí Play Mọ́kọ́lá kó lọ́jà àwọn àǹfààní agbọ́nmálè lọ wọ̀nyí. Àdéhùn àtàsọtẹ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ o.
This is what it sounds like when you mindlessly reach away at your snacks. Boring, dull, routine snacking. And this is what it sounds like when snacking is loud, proud, gooey, chewy, playful, joyful, and all-round fun. Because when joyless snacking attacks, we'll be there to fight back. Snack out loud with Fanta.
You're about to close the deal of a lifetime, and suddenly, your phone goes off because your battery is low. There's a hot gist in town, and just when you're about to hear it, your smartphone disappoints you. Oh, not again. Even worse, you're about to get that yes, but they can't reach you. No smartphone guarantees you your dream like the INT'L P40. With just one charge of its mega 6000 mAh battery, power is yours for 3 days. Also get 5GB from INT'L for just 1,000 naira when you buy INT'L P40 and activate it with an INT'L 4G SIM card. SMS GET to 141 to get this offer. INT'L P40, one charge for 3 days.
32 FM 94.9.
All right, we're back. The phone lines 0705 5949 and 0809 7949. If you want to react to any of the headlines or the stories that we've touched this morning. Austin, I just want to quickly talk about the Ondo State Governor, Rotimi Akeredolu. The Speaker of the Ondo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Olamide Oladiji, said that the state governor would embark on a medical leave and his deputy will take charge. Of course, this is coming as a result of the public outcry because sometimes last week, some people in Ondo State said that the place was just running bare or the state was running bare and there was nobody at the helms of affair. And so now this is more like a public declaration confirming that he's indeed ill and out of the country. Do you look forward to a time when our political office holders will be confident enough to use our healthcare infrastructure and not have to go outside Nigeria?
Yes, I sincerely look forward to that. Let's hope that happen in earnest. It starts from facing the health sector. We must work around that very cautiously. It is high time. Of course, President Muhammadu Buhari, the former president, had the opportunity to have been able to restructure and reposition our health sector, being a principal beneficiary of medical tourism. Well, the Ondo State governor has done the needful. He has done it before. You know, I said it yesterday. He has done it before, even without sickness, by relinquishing power to his deputy and going on vacation. Of course, what the constitution expects is 21 days. Let's hope that between now and the next 21 days, the governor feels better and get back to work. There must not be vacuum. If is about service to the people. I don't think it becomes very much for executive to transmit power to their second in command if it's about service to the people.
All right, Austin, let's pick a call. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm John and Jock. Thank you. Yes, a lot of things have been said about Emefiele. Someone said that the money policy Emefiele introduced ruined the economy. I want to agree. Also, has made a lot of comments about the suspended CBN governor. If the suspended governor, though it was actually based on the things Nigeria went through during the February redesign money, then it is a complete shadow chasing. Because the debt president in a nationwide broadcast admitted that the exercise taken by Emefiele was his initiative to reduce money policies and the vote buying and paid Nigeria for what they were going through. And if you are holding Emefiele responsible, what of the management team of CBN? Was it a unilateral action taken by Emefiele without the consent of the management team? What should have been a collective responsibility is now reduced to a mere one-man show, except there was no management team and action of Emefiele proving to be unilateral. The issue of Tabaron does not even arise because the president flagrantly disobeyed court order, which prompted the Supreme Court to describe Nigerian democracy as mere pretension under Buhari. When the heat became too much, he shifted the ball into Emefiele to obey court order. I'm John Njoku. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. 0705 5949 and 0809 7949. All right, we take some comments on our Facebook page after this call. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Olu from Ilele.
Please go on.
He's holding the former governor of Central Bank for financing terrorism. You see, we must get something right. Anything that has to do with crime will go to the EFCC. The one that has to do with intelligence is what the DSS is handling. So that is there. Then coming to the issue of Obi exhibit in court. Yes, you understand that this is it has to do with election. If we should produce evidence and exhibit and they say fed or rejected, people will say different. Let them have everything. Then they analyze it. Good morning.
All right.
All right, we'll move over to Facebook now. Timothy Okore says, good morning, Denike and Bolabo. NBA's response to Tinubu, the only court will determine what is right is appropriate response. Tinubu should keep calm and wait for the court to deliver their judgment. It's very clear that Tinubu is not the winner of the presidential election, judging by what went down. All right, that doesn't emanate from us as a station. And of course, that's part of the comment on our fan page.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I also see the call by Ohanes Ndi was hypocritical as well. I think they should just allow the man, let him go the whole way. Probably that might also help serve as a precedent in other cases in this part of the world. So they should just allow him. And please, there is something the politicians after that should know. We are not seeing them as supermen. So I actually think the governor of Ondo coming out earlier that people said he was sick and he's always denied it. We are not seeing them as supermen. They are human beings that have flaws. They can fall sick. This the things we think they should just take notes and not coming with these blatant lies later now recanting on what they said. Good morning, okay?
All right, okay, thank you so much. Sulaiman Sharif on Facebook says, good morning, 32 FM crew. Now, Mr. President's men led the 10th National Assembly. I pray that the National Assembly would not be a rubber stamp or glue in their seats. They must voice out where necessary and also engage in their legislative acts, oversight function, and make checks and balances as priority as well. All right, the phone lines 0705 5949 and 0809 7949 to share your thoughts.
All right, Austin, I also wanted you to look at this from economic experts saying that Nigeria bled under Emefiele as CBN governor. And of course, you're looking at the fact that there were a lot of wrong policies of the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. And if you look at all of this, they make this known at a seminar. What do we make out of what these economic experts are saying?
I think they have re-echoing the obvious. That's just the truth. The president actually supported the initiative of Emefiele, but Emefiele should have been an economic expert, supposedly. You understand? You can't compare Emefiele to Buhari, somebody who rose to become the MD of one of the best banks in Nigeria. I don't know whether you get the point. You are now coming up, bringing up policy that inflicts hardship on the people. We are complaining now that, why not the entire management of CBN or the whole staff of the CBN pick? Emefiele is the head, so he must answer. If there is need to also go after some of the top management team, who knows whether it does not listen to them? A lot of revelations are coming out, so we can't hide that. You said the president asked him to investigate. How about the property is acquiring all over the country? How about over 100 pieces of brand new vehicle he branded to pursue a presidential ambition? Is he also the president that caused that? That's the issue. Emefiele, if he has question to answer, it's not above the law. Let him face the law.
Good morning.
My name is Dinga Mary calling from Apata.
All right, please go on.
I would like Emefiele to be duly prosecuted and let him not go scot-free. And I want to ask Mr. Austin this question. I learned yesterday that the former ADF Malami has been arrested, and that former aviation minister has been arrested. I want to confirm if that is true. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Austin. I think that's for you.
Yeah, that is not correct. You know, it was also speculated, I think, over the weekend that Mele Kyari has also be removed from office. I think we should take it cool. It is step by step. When it gets to their turn, they will definitely be picked up. Even people from the north have advised the federal government to probe Addis Irika on the Nigeria Air project. So let's take it calm. Let's leave speculation. Of course, as at Friday last week, we never knew, early hours, we never knew Emefiele would be suspended, let alone picking him up by the DSS. But before the dawn of that day, the news broke. So let's take it calm.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. GBOLABO from Moscow and Denike. Yeah, also good morning. This is John Olariwaju from Maju. On those that emerge as Senate President and the Speaker of House of Reps, respectively, well, they are looking for the position and they have gotten it now. So let them hit the ground running. So there is no time to waste. So as they promise Nigerians that they will follow the rules of law. So.
All right, thank you very much. We take some more comments on our Facebook page.
Over now to Facebook, more comment. Radia Fiz Abidemi says, good morning, GBOLABO and Denike. On the issue of minimum wages, honestly, governors needed to cooperate with Mr. President and labor leaders. This is high time Nigerian workers and need them, and any governor who refused to pay minimum wages should resign. God bless Nigeria. I don't know how possible that will be.
Yes, of course, in wage negotiation, there is a key factor. Ability to pay. So that must always be emphasized. I think that is area where the governor is adding on. Let there be thorough devolution of power. Let's restructure the country in such a way that it will reflect true federalism. States should be able to determine what they will pay. For crying out loud, it's not compulsory that it's the federal government that will set wage. The reason why the federal government does that is that some states are very recalcitrant. They will not, even if they have the money. Look at the bailout fund. The president at that time gave bailout to governor to be able to meet their obligation, and they diverted it. Do you know the implication of that? It's just like a father, you don't have money to put food on the table for your children, and somebody say, oh, take this money so that your children will not continue to go hungry, and you divert the money to building of hotel and other things, and your children continue to go hungry. You understand? So the idea of the federal government setting minimum wage is so as to help workers at state level, so that they will not be stranded. And the definition of government in the committee for a minimum wage negotiation, they don't look at state government. They regard the federal government to negotiate on behalf of the state government, being the federal government. You know, the state is subnational. So that's the way it is looked at in the committee for wage negotiation. But the ability to pay is very strategic.
All right, thank you so much, Austin Idumu, for doing this with us this morning. I am Adenike Ademuwago.
And I'm GBOLABO from Moscow. Bye for now.